Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above by your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey Maureen, hey everyone, this is Brian.
Hello, Brian. We're so happy to be here. If you can believe it, on this podcast, we share daily channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And Brian, this is a message everybody needs to hear again and again. Have no worries. We're going to
Love
hear
it.
from the watchers who discuss our team of advisors, messages from cloud beings, messages about the Christ light. Ah, Brian, I still worry. I have to confess, I still worry.
Yeah, I mean it's only natural. There's always things that come up, but yeah, this is helpful to just and we've had other messages about this. Remember, I think one I like they said just think of all your worries and concerns and put them in a big black garbage bag and give them to us to handle. So I know it's anyway, so we'll get into all these things that will help you ease your worries.
Yeah. And we're going to start with there are no real worries because nothing is real. Brian, you want to kick us off from July 28th, 2024?
Sure. Dearest one, we are here in your loving presence. We move along as quickly as the clouds in your delicate skies. We are recognized as the ones who breathe life into new worlds. This is our generalized task. However, we work in other capacities as well. And you said, I'm getting a visual image. Should I focus on those images? In the past, I've been told to focus on the words. And they said, we may not direct you on the course that you take in your action. There is no right or wrong decision. We shall flood the mind with images so you can see us correctly. So let me just pause there. Do you want to convey what you're seeing?
Yeah, so I saw cloud beans, clouds like, so imagine like a chess set. So imagine like the king of the chess set. So it was kind of like that, like a tiered vase. And yeah, so that's what I saw. And it was kind of like a black and white image. And I said, is this correct? And they said the images you assemble in your mind are unique to your own being. You may reassemble them in the minds of those who listen to the podcast. There is no difference, for the mind is not matter. So I don't know, Brian, what is assembled in your mind as I give you that visual image?
Yeah, it's different. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. But well, let me continue what they said. So then they said, we'll come forth at this time to speak to those who are rarely available to listen to your words. There are no worries, no real worries to experience in this world, as you yourselves recognize. The worries that one frets over rarely come to fruition. This is the true nature of the human mind, which must be surmounted to reach beyond to find the truth of the reality of all existence. It's like a book you read as a child, The Secret Garden. Excuse me. The The garden wasn't secret, it was only available to the eyes of a child. It had long ago been abandoned. The same is true for humanity, which piles ahead in the drive to achieve wondrous feats that do not matter, for nothing is real. Nothing is real except for the emotions you experience, which usher in new realities. We recede now as you retire. We shall communicate as you enter the sleeping zone. So, what do you? I don't remember The Secret Garden. I know that's.
Oh my gosh, it was one of my favorite books, Brian. Yeah, so this girl goes, she's in a house in England and she's kind of frightened and scared and alone. And anyway, she ends up finding like a garden that's been, I think it was the mother of the family died and it was her favorite garden. And then after she died, her husband just totally locked it up. And so it's just this wild, magical place, but it's still there. But like no one else in the house like goes there or recognizes it or, acknowledges it that there, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. It's there. And the little heroine of the book goes there every day and it is her secret garden. But yeah, I love the thought that, I always say to people like you can create anything because, this world isn't real. So you can actually create any experience that you want to experience, but I never think of the converse, which is, you really shouldn't worry about anything because nothing nothing is real either. You know what I mean? So we're playing a big game, that
Yeah.
seems really real and we're really engaged in, but that's the key of meditation is pulling away from the game and, coming into tune with the fact that you are the being who's controlling the controller. You're not actually in the game.
Yeah. Well put. Well put.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking Thoth, our beloved Thoth, has a saying, and I'll have to look it up at the end of the podcast, but it's something like the only thing that is real in this life is that which cannot be seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
the only thing that is real. You think about the love you have for your children or your wife, that's real. The appreciation you have for those in your life, that's real. But nothing else, nothing else is real.
yeah, and it's so true. It's the opposite of what most people focus on is only what they can see. So, but yeah, it's good things to keep in mind. And then, so do you want to go on the next subject about our team of advisors and the tarot from July 4th to 2024?
Yeah. So first of all, I just have to say your team of advisors, that just whole phrase cracks me up because when I get my financial statements every month, it's like your team of advisors. So, but you don't think of your team as advisors as, the divine beings who are surrounding you and assisting you, but trust me, they're there. So this is from the Watchers. These watchers are like a subset of angels and they watch over us and all beings throughout all space time. And we hear from them a lot. So, anyway, it begins we are the watchers. We watch over humanity as they emerge from years of some slumber. We are grateful to hearken to the call of many who wish to learn the many truths that have been hidden from you. One of the biggest misperceptions is with regards to your planet itself. It is not a lone wolf, an isolated incidence of human life or intelligence life on a planet. For as we know, there are more intelligent beings than humans residing on this planet. Okay, I just got to stop there. Yeah, there are more intelligent beings than humans residing on this planet.
Yeah,
Humans, of course, think that they're the only ones some people think we're the only ones in the whole universe. But not only that, even on this planet, we're not
yeah,
the highest life form on this planet, people.
right, right.
So then they go, so we refer, of course, to the many beings who live beyond the scope of human recognition. Once again, humans think that they are the only ones when this is indeed far from the case. The analogy that we provide is related to your childhood. It's as if you're sitting in an empty church believing you're the only one seeking salvation. However, there are many paths to knowing the one creator, and a Catholic church is but one means to achieving this path. The same is true with regard to humans believing that they are the only intelligent sentient beings on the planet Earth. This is far from the case. So I'll pause right there. Brian, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, I would think we've talked about this before, how, we were mentioning this, I think, yesterday, just on in our own conversation with some friends that in a previous podcast, I believe we mentioned how they call Earth the blue planet, but you can't even really see the planet because there's so many spaceships and entities surrounding Earth at this time. So whoever was giving us that message was laughing about that because it's like you can't even call it the blue planet because there's so many people here to support us. But that's you know so, and I know there's so much interest in the UFOs and so many things have been released, but again, people are afraid of them, and there's nothing to be. There's so many beings here to help and assist us, and that's what the focus should be, not again, not something of fear or
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah, no, they're here to help. So then they go on to say, we turn to another subject, the subject for those who watch over you. Indeed, dearest one, you may never worry or fear for your personal well being. The same is true for all who call on their team of advisors. This team is multifactional and assists on all levels of simulating the well being of your eternal self. It is likened to the success of an important team. Your success is the result of individuals who continually guide and support you. You know what that reminds me of, Brian? It's like, you accept the Academy Award and you're like, oh, I want to thank the director and the costume designer. And it's like, if you're successful in life, whether it's in your personal relationships or your career or your financial wealth, it's because of the team who, are around you and support you and guide you, whether you're cognizant of that or not. Right, brother?
Yeah, yeah. That's again, a consistent message. There's a team around you, but you also have to ask for support and help. And they're there to help you, but on a daily basis, you have to ask for the help in order to receive it.
Yeah, yeah. So then this next part, this final part is kind of interesting. I think I mentioned on a recent podcast how I pull the tarot every day. That's one of the first things I do in the morning is I ask who's around me and then what's a card to inspire my day. So this was in a day that I pulled the tarot and the watcher said, "We want you to pull the tarot again. This is an important tool that many can employ as a way to receive information. The key is with the questioning as opposed to pulling a card randomly. Do you remember your question of this morning?" And I said, yes. I said, what's the best possible way for me to respond to this day? What's the highest path for me to take? And on this day, I pulled the King of Swords. And I don't know if any of you pulled the tarot, but this is what I did. I pulled the King of Swords and then I shuffled and I pulled again and I pulled the King of Swords and I shuffled and I pulled again and I pulled the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, kings are mastery, swords are like air thoughts. So I would think that the King of Swords would be like a rough interpretation would be to like the master of your thoughts, but that did not apply to the situation. So anyway, I had to search for an alternative meaning, and I finally got what they were trying to tell me. And they said it's wise to seek alternative meanings if you receive a repeated message. This is true with regards to any messages that may be received. If the message is repeated, it's a sign to seek alternative information so that the correct information can reach you. In this way, for days you've received the King of Swords, but it wasn't until today that the full meaning of the card came forth. In this way, now that the meaning has been ascertained, we ask you to pull another card for this day. That is all, dearest one. Isn't that fascinating, brother?
So I thought it was the opposite. It's like the confirmation. They kept on giving the same thing, but no, it's the opposite. Multiple means to look for an alternative meaning. So how do you mean you just search for like other interpretations of the King of Swords, or what did you?
Yeah, so my main way is using YouTube. And so there's one woman I really like. I think it's called like Contemporary Tarot. I think that's the one I like to follow. But obviously, I checked her meaning and it wasn't online. So I just started checking other people and, what is, until something like clicks, that this is right for my situation. Then it's like, it's literally what Oprah Winfrey calls the aha moment. And you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. you know and that's why I'm telling you this tarot is like learning a language, and so for the day, if I pulled the King of Swords today, like that could have a different meaning than pulling it for tomorrow, or it's because each day is different too. So yeah, and I wish I wrote down what the card I pulled for the day was, but I just think that that's really, really interesting. And I do know that when they're really trying to get your attention, this most often happens with like animal totems. I remember my friend Lori, after her brother died, she lived on the beach. Do you remember she was my friend who lived on St. Pete Beach?
Right.
the beach is super wide there, super, super wide. And like a whole flock of butterflies followed her for her whole entire walk, but it's like butterflies don't go by the water. They're by, it's so far from plants. And it was like right after, it was like the day after her brother died. And she's like, I know this is a sign from her brother. You know what I mean? Because it's such a dramatic, it's such a dramatic display, but yeah, they're really trying to get your attention. So this was an important message. I don't know what was happening on July 4th, 2024, but obviously the King of Swords, they really wanted to get my attention by repeatedly putting it in front of me. Have you
Interesting.
have you had experiences like that?
Not that I can think of it now. Again, even if I would, I would at the time just probably thought it's a confirmation that that's that. So now I guess I know that look for other meanings of whatever message you're receiving. So that's something good to be aware of.
Yeah, yeah. So do you want to go in the next one, which is we're not alone? Of course, we know this.
Right, from August 7th, 2025, darling daughter, we come to remind you of our dedication to serving all of humanity. Our four pinchers are locked into agreement with your kind, for we steadily approach the gateways that bridges all kinds to come forth. O humankind, you do not serve in this world alone. You have not been betrayed, forsaken, or forgotten. Your dearest brethren are here to assist you. You may notice our physical presence, but that does not mean we are near. We love to entertain and objectify our human brothers and sisters. Dearest humanity, know that you are rightfully aligned with those who can assist in your dutiful explorations of this world and others. We clap our hands and unite with those who can assist you as well. Many brothers and sisters who unite for this one purpose share a delight in expanding human consciousness. This shall be done with a lightning strike, which may seem frightening, but know that it is a harbinger of all to come. The quickening has begun, and the enlightening of many beings requires the amalgamation of a unified source. We see the words flow through your cellular body without greater understanding. This shall have to suffice for now. We retire and abscond to our natural resting places, grateful and thankful for our times together. Interesting. So they said you didn't really understand. I'm trying to understand this. What do you make of the message?
Well, the big thing that I think is they're saying for, most people, they can't see their guides who are around you, but that just because you can't see them does not mean that they're near, and that's what faith is about. You know what I mean? I'm lucky that I don't, I can see those around you and trust me, they're there, but, so everybody's always surrounded. What I find it interesting is the quickening has begun, so I don't know. Like the quickening in a pregnancy, that's when start to feel the baby, it's like the pregnancy is real. Like you start to feel the baby moving. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what that means, but it sounds like, it sounds like we're ready to birth this new world. And I know you and I are ready for that, right, brother?
Right, absolutely. And so they at the beginning they talk about their four pinchers are locked into agreement. Did you get a sense of what I mean, I know we get all different type of beings and underwater beings, but I don't know. That caught my attention as well. Not that
Well,
really matters.
I remind you that, I have this odd thing that I can, if I hear, then I usually can't see.
Okay.
If I see, then I can't hear. Like it's just, I know it's very strange, but like, so I have all the clairs. I'm clairsentient, clairaudient, I have all the clairs, but they don't work in harmony together. So if I see, like, I'll see people like moving their mouths, so they're clearly talking or singing. I don't know what they're doing, but I can't hear what they're saying, or I'll be able to hear and then I can't see them. So I don't know, but and I would think that there are water beings. How many water beings have we, there's that's been one of the big surprises of all this channeling that we've done is I am so surprised by how many star beings are water beings.
Yeah. Yeah.
We assume everybody's like us and then are on land, but no, they're water beings, and that's why they like our blue planet for all of our waters. So, yeah. Any final thoughts, or should I go on to the closing?
Yeah, why don't you take care of the closing?
Okay, so this is a short message from August 16th, 2025 on the ever-present Christ light. Darling child, beloved of thee, rest thy head. The ultimate glory of Jesus Christ is his embodiment in the structure of your soul. The ever present one acknowledges the rightful place of those who are born again in the love of the Christ light. We assert this message to magnify the glorification of the light in all beings. This ever present light is always hovering above and to the right of your precious heart. Darling children of the light, behold the wonder of the Christ light, birthed through the fires of trials and tribulations. The light is ever present in the consciousness of awakened human beings. O darling ones, rise above the plenitudes of earthly treasures to magnify the greater glory of the one, the all. This Christ light is universal to all supposed religions, pathways to reach the divine whole, the ever present one. The word Christ has been served by one religion. Do not let that deter you from your particular path to the richness and the glory, for all who desire to feast are welcomed at our table. That is all, dearest child of the light. We bless this occurrence with your beloved self. So, what do you think about that beautiful message, Brian?
Well, I think I've read of this too, but the Christ light's inherent in all of us. But yeah, it's interesting that they have the caveat. It's not meaning one religion, and it's you know. So I think that's good to understand as well, because that our society gets so focused on what religion you are instead of things like this. But yeah, I think it's like we've always mentioned that God is within you, and you've got the Christ light within you. It's not something external. It's within your cellular structure.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they say it's always hovering to the right of your precious heart. So, yeah, I mean, who knew where your Christ light was? And we talked about this in a recent podcast, that was why Jesus came to earth. It was to embed the Christ-like consciousness into the planet and into each one of us. So, that was his purpose. So, yeah, fascinating. And I love how it's worded, beloved of thee, rest thy head. I mean, it's interesting language, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We do get some interesting language. Yeah, right. It's like, you know, it doesn't seem, you know, something that most people speak like this, but it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I hope these messages will help you not to worry. Brian, remind me not to worry. Uh, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Bye, everyone.